Hello everyone, this is my last monthly interview and so this time I thought I'd treat you to another one of our regular players. Although Yvonne Winterstein still works, she plays here at least 3 days a week. She doesn't draw the limelight to herself, but she's had a really interesting background and interesting business. Yvonne is internationally trained professional patisserie chef and with her sister owns and manages Patisserie Royale. It is so successful that has had contracts with the GAN, Indian Pacific, Southern Spirit and Singapore Airlines to name a few. It's a wholesale business but with door sales via their website for those of you interested. Her training and apprenticeship has seen her travel and work overseas in top European hotels. And so, welcome Yvonne, let's learn a little bit about you. How did you get into the business?
Well, my father was a pastry chef and he came over in 1960 to Adelaide and started his business there. And Mum and Dad taught us very early on in life how to work for our money and gave us little odd jobs and that. And my first job I can remember was they offered us 1 cent per cake box to fold cake boxes. So they went off to bed early, around 5 in the afternoon, because they used to start very early in the mornings. They'd wake up and the whole living room was full of boxes. They thought, oh, we may have to stop that. So over the time we got...
What, costing them too much?
Yeah, exactly. No room to move. And then over the years we got odd little jobs and school holidays and that. And at the age of 16 I left school and decided to do an apprenticeship as a pastry chef in Adelaide at Regency TAFE, along with my sister. So we were the only 2 girls over the 4 years of that course doing the pastry chef.
Okay.
And after that, I stayed another year in the family business. They opened up some cake shops and tea rooms in the city in the 80s so that they could teach us more elaborate style of cakes and desserts and showpieces and that. So I did that for another year and then decided to go overseas on a working holiday.
All right. So that then leads into your overseas training, does it? So what sort of training have you done and where has it taken you?
I was very fortunate with my background here to get work in 5-star hotels, mainly in Switzerland, in Geneva in the French part, and then in the German part in Interlaken and Grindelwald, beautiful parts of the world. And during that time, I did a sugar course in Zurich, which is all the bottles that you see in the movies that get smashed over your head, and it's all made of sugar. Pouring, pulling. I really enjoy it. Finished the course with blisters all over my hands, and I also did a praline course in Lucerne in Switzerland, and that was really very educational.
Right. So when did you come back to Australia then?
Beginning of 87, and we started our business straight after that. We both came back together. We worked together in Europe so that we could see if we were compatible to start a business, and we were. We had lots of fun, and as soon as we came back home, we started our company. We were fortunate we could rent the premises from our parents, so that was a good head start. And then within a matter of, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, we were up and running. We were dealing with Dad Jones, all the Qantas catering, and that's when it all began. So we were doing like 16-hour days.
Oh my goodness.
But we were loving it.
Just as an aside, why did you decide to stay in the wholesale business rather than retail?
Good question. Purely for a balance of work and play. Because in wholesale we can regulate our hours. If we wanted to play golf, for argument's sake, we'd start at 10 in the evening and finish by 6 or 5 in the morning, and then have the day free.
Right. Yeah.
So that was the main reason. We'd had that experience with our parents in retail, and we thought, we don't want to go down that path.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And it's been really enjoyable.
Yeah.
We get to work with our clients, designing menus.
Okay.
It's a very creative profession to be in.
Yeah. Are they hard to please? I mean, Qantas Catering, and I've mentioned Singapore Airlines, and again.
Some of them. I mean, because we had to do the halal with the Malaysian Airlines, and so there's a lot of learning involved in that. Singapore Airlines were quite fussy, but in general, no. We had such a good education, and we knew what we had to do, and
And I suppose working in top European hotels, then their standards are pretty high as well.
Exactly.
So you came with that training.
Exactly right. Yes. And in 1998, we were one of the first bakeries to become HACCP certified.
Right.
So that was, with the 5 tips.
Yes. Yep.
So that gave us a good stepping stone to stay in with the corporate clients.
Yeah.
Sort of a little bit different from the other bakeries. One step ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I know because I play with you on Thursdays that you've had the other side of your business is the production side and the physical bricks and mortar and staff and all that as well.
Yeah.
And so I know you moved your production premises. So take us through what operations you had to consider to set up that move.
Look, it was the reason that we moved was that the building was getting needed repairs, and we thought, well, we may use this opportunity to shift to a new premises and then develop that site. But we were fortunate we were still able to work in the old bakery while we found a property and started putting walk-in cool rooms, freezers, doing the non-slip flooring. So I guess the reason for shifting was to maybe move into a newer
and update technology as well.
Exactly, but it was quite smooth sailing. We did the production on a Friday morning, and then before lunch the trucks came and craned out we had to knock out walls to get the 2.5 metre benches out, our ovens out, and seeing them dangling up on the cranes, it was
nerve-wracking.
Quite daunting, yes. But everything went according to plan, and we were up operational again by Monday morning.
Wow, that's a huge project management schedule, isn't it?
Yes.
There's such attention to detail.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, and within a month we felt like we'd been in the new premises for years.
Yeah.
We've been there 5 years now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, time flies.
How many staff do you have?
There's 6 of us. We have 3 full-time pastry chefs. We have a kitchen hand. We have a casual dishwasher, cleaner.
That's a versatile person.
Yeah, so he's a young lad studying, so it's perfect hours for him, and helps us when we get to trouble with a computer.
What do you and your sister do on a daily basis? What's a typical day look like? What time do you get up?
It's not too bad now. We're normally at work by 6 in the morning, and we have different days. We do different types of production depending on the orders. So I'm more in the office, and my sister's in production, overseeing that. So we're a really good team.
And I mentioned some of the companies for whom you do large contracts, and I guess maybe COVID's had a bit of an impact on that. So who have you supplied, and how has COVID interrupted, your business?
COVID's interrupted us hugely. Like we're probably down 80%.
Goodness.
Until the borders open, because as you said before, we do the trains around Australia. So the GAN, which is running now, but minimal people on board. We're waiting for a Western Australian borders to open for the Indian Pacific.
Yep.
We do the Southern Spirit, the Overland. We do a lot of birthday cakes in nursing homes.
Yeah.
And again, with the airline industry, it's really tough.
Yeah.
So I've been able to play a bit more golf.
So you actually had to close your business, didn't you, for a while?
Yeah,
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. And geeing it up again in terms of buying goods in and that, has that been disrupted by COVID? Have you?
Oh, yes, we've definitely had to change our process totally. Instead of catering for like 10,000 people a week, we might only be doing 600 if we're lucky. So ordering very different to what we've been used to, and production as well.
Those numbers terrify me when I can't organise myself around 3 and you're talking about 10,000 or 600.
We've been doing it for...
Yeah, you're experienced.
Yeah. 40 years.
Oh, gosh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What's your favourite item that you like producing or making?
Eating.
Or eating.
Eating. I love fresh cream. I love good quality liqueur. So for me, I'd have to say Black Forest. Black Forest. But our signature dessert that we're sort of known for, if you can pan through here, are these little cocktail gateaux.
Oh, wow. Look at those.
They're ideal for just an afternoon coffee and cake or after dinner because they're so small and there's so many different flavours. So that's what we're known for.
Right.
When cupcakes took off, we designed this style that we put on tiers. Yeah. Been really popular.
They'd look spectacular.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But I like doing all sorts. We do a lot of Australiana products.
Oh, okay.
With the GAN and the trains, like we do lemon myrtle lamingtons. We do quandong trifle. So we try and incorporate the Australiana ingredients into some of our desserts.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to go straight to the website and look at how they can get some of your products.
But it's changing. Like we do menu designs every 2 months. We change menu. We love working with chefs and designing desserts for Christmas or Easter menus.
Through the different seasons.
That's what we've learnt when we were overseas. Working in huge hotels. We were doing 500 to 1,000 people a night, and when everyone wants their food at the same time, it's high pressure. So those TV shows aren't far from the truth. It's a creative industry. You have to enjoy what you do, otherwise the end result's not there. It's a form of art.
Yes, very definitely.
It's eaten and then it's
gone.
What
do you do outside of working?
Apart from golf, we did travel a lot overseas up until COVID, and now we spend a lot of time down at our holiday house at Sellex Beach. I love bike riding, so we do a lot of riding along the coast and then go inland through the vineyards. We're pretty spoiled. I enjoy doing that at the moment. I used to water ski and snow ski, things like that.
They'll come back eventually, won't they, I guess?
And I like developing. My partner's a builder.
Oh, okay.
I love doing interior designs and helping him. Sometimes I enjoy the manual work.
Well, you're so strong anyway.
And so that keeps me out of trouble when I'm not at work.
Fantastic.
Maybe play a bit more golf.
Would be
nice.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yvonne. That's fascinating, and I'm sure all our women members really enjoy listening to your story. So thank you for agreeing to participate.
That's all right. My pleasure.